Okay, in today's video we've got brand new daily races, and I want to talk about what I do to learn uh, how to uh, get up to speed, how to find the pace, and learn a track. And basically what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go look, and I'm going to look at the qualifying times. I want to see what cars are at the top, what my goal is, what I'm looking for. Well, what I've seen here, you got a 296. You got a few of them at the top, so that's probably going to be one of the faster cars. The new Porsche is in here, and the M6. Now that's more of what I expected to see. The Beetle, well, I think that's actually due to Sammy Snake. Go check out his channel. He is the fastest snake in the world. Of course, he also came in and put a time in with the 296 with another account. So what I'm gonna do, I'm looking and I'm seeing the most common car in here in the top 100 is the 296. Well, that's most likely what I'm gonna do. Use. Now, I want to go, obviously I'm gonna want to use, see these, replays, and of course you can see right here whether or not it has a replay. That one doesn't. The top three do, and then come down. The only one of the top 10 that doesn't have a replay is P4 currently. Carrazza. So I can look at a replay, at a top replay for the 296, the Ferrari, the new Porsche, the 911, the 992, or the M6, or even an R8. But seeing how that's the only R8 up here, I don't see. I don't intend to be trying to use the R8. Now, there's a couple of Mercedes AMGs, and no replay. And again, you got two of them. I don't plan on using that. Somebody has come in and put a time in with the BRZ. Tidgney looks like he did the Ferrari, and he has a replay in, of course. And there's a couple more replays down lower, but again, we've got faster replays up higher of the same car. Sammy Snake put his time in. He saved his time, shared his replay with the Beetle. So if you want to go run with the Beetle, you can. And that's your top 100. Now, I'm not going to get anywhere close to any of these times. But what I am going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, I want to go use, I got to change the car. I want to go use a 296. So I'm going to go get it in my 296. I don't want to be on, I want to be on soft tires for the qualifying. And then I'm going to go into the time trial. Now I know there are a couple of really fast drivers that want to tell you to go into racing. Don't spend your time qualifying. Just jump in and get racing. Well, I don't like doing that because if you're anything like me, I'm not a top driver. I'm going to be probably 2 to 4 seconds off of the top time. And what I want to do is actually, I need to figure out where my braking points are. At the very least, I don't have to come in and find the fastest time, but I do need to at least have some kind of idea of what my braking points are, just so I don't run into everybody. So I'm not wrecking all over the place. So that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm picking the top car, or one of the top cars that I'm comfortable driving. I've driven the 296. So I'm going to use that. And on this track, I know Atlanta, so I'm going to, I already have an idea personally, but I actually want to do this as, as if I don't know what track I'm going into, don't know the track, don't know the braking points. So I'm going to try to kind of walk you through what I'm doing at first. So I'm going to come in here, and we're going to come in and now I just want to kind of get a feel for what I'm going to do to get an idea of my braking point. So I'm looking at that number down, that 2. As soon as that starts flashing, I know I want to brake. That gear number, as soon as that starts flashing, I know I want to brake. So I'm going to try to kind of get an idea of where that's at, and kind of get a feel for it. And I'm looking, so, because I need a marker. I don't want to sit there and be stuck looking at that number and try to figure out where, what my braking points are, so I have something to go by. And at the same time, I'm kind of trying to understand, what part of the track I need to be on, and try to figure out where I'm going. Well, now that is my my first time around, and no, I'm not setting a time on that, and it's not the worst time actually. It's I'm probably looking at like a 121, 122, about 6 seconds off. But so now I've got an idea of where my brake points are. Now what I'm looking at right now, I'll show you what I'm looking at as brake points. Just so far, just off of that that one lap. Now what I'm looking at is right here is my first brake point. You see these cones to the left? That is where this track has opened up at. So that's my brake point. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit my brakes before I continue, because I've already passed that point. So, and then I'm going to come through up here, and just as I crest this hill, I'm not there yet, but where this little dotted line comes across, you can see this, right here where this dotted line is, and you can see it's this this curb starts right there, and it's pretty much going to be just like that's going to be on the tail end of my car, I believe, when I need to brake, and that's what I'm looking for. So I want to be on this line, and you know, I want this completely out of view when I start braking. So yeah, I just messed that up. Okay, and that's fine. But this is just to show you where my braking points are. And then here, right at this curb on the right, you know, right down here on the right on this curb right here. Just as I hit this curb, I want to brake on this. So and then I'm going to come down here, and I didn't catch it quite exactly where I need to be braking at. Well, I got to go a little bit further before, there we go. I don't know. Okay, you see the 200-yard marker coming up right here, and 100 here. I'm thinking that it's going to be just past this 200-yard marker, like just as it gets over here just off screen. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, like just as it crosses screen, and I'm going to kind of look to see exactly if that is going to be a correct marker. Nope, that's a little too far. So apparently where I had actually paused that at is about where I want to brake at. I don't know on that last corner there exactly where I need to brake at. I've never been able to figure out where I need to brake at. We're going to find out together. Right down here, this one I'm pretty sure is the 200-yard marker that you can see up here. So we're gonna go and look. And I got a little squirrely. Alright. Now we've got a basic idea. Okay, so now that we have a basic idea of what kind of markers, what our markers are, now I'm going to go and I'm going to try to find out, see what I can do and we're going to run a lap now that we have a basic idea of what our braking markers are. Of what I think is right. And I'm just kind of going to feel my way around this track. Okay, a little slide there. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to run probably 2 or 3 laps is basically what I'm looking to do here. And I'm not trying to like get the best right here. Now I haven't even looked at this, or 21.5. About 5 seconds off of the top times. I'm not, I'm not expecting to be in the top times here. I just kind of want to get a feel with what I've seen, what kind of times I could get with my braking markers, and get an idea, of what I'm looking at and what I can see on this track as I'm going around it. And of course, this one's feeling a little better. It's looking a lot better. My second lap around here. And and to be honest with you, I'm not hating that lap. You got to went 120.1. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and exit. I've got a basic idea of, now if this takes me 3 laps to figure out, 4 laps, 5 laps, just to get around this track without wrecking, and just a smooth lap to get around without wrecking. That's all I want to do. And once I get that, then I've got an idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and save that replay, and then I'm going to leave. Now, I'm not looking at my replay right now, because what I want to do is I want to go and I want to look at at one of these top replays. I'm going to go for the top one because it's the car that I'm using. And I'm going to open that up. Alright, now once we get this open, we're going to go ahead and hit, go to play replay. Now I'm going to pause this for a second. Come over here to replay options. Race info, I'm going to go down and display all. Now I can do display car info only. I can do display race info only. I just do display all. That's got me everything I need. Now I've got the replay loop on, so I can just keep watching it, and instead of having to go back and restart it. Now I'm also going to switch my camera to here. Now this is where he's starting out at. This is just 2 seconds in, 2.9 seconds into his lap. And I'm going to go up here, and I want to figure out, right here is about where I think just past this point is where I'm thinking I needed to brake at. Now, I want to look right here. I'm looking at his brake lights. I'm looking for these to light up. Okay? Oh, there you go. See, he's actually braking just a little bit earlier than I thought. Now he's braking right there, and you can see right down there by the ABS where he's obviously braking. So I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna hit walk, go into walk mode, And yeah, he's hitting it right at the beginning of this. I don't know what that. I don't know if that's like a pit. I guess it's an alternate pit area, or paddock entrance. But obviously he is braking right there. So I'm braking a little early. I mean, a little late going into turn 1. And that's not good. So we're going to get out of this, and then we're going to go and we're going to continue. And he's getting down to about 420. Now I want to show you what I'm looking at, because see, I'm looking as he's braking. He brakes just about a half a brake, not a full brake. He just gets down to 4th gear in about 420 and just kind of coasts around there. And, you know, right about here is, you know, that's where he's off the brake and he's starting to get back on the accelerator already. So, he's already broke, so I need to back up. You know, brake, come in, and okay, let's see, where exactly does he brake here? He's cutting this obviously a lot more than, see, and I don't know that I trust myself to cut it quite this far, because he's actually getting tires off into the grass. But I am looking for brake lights. Where are the brake lights? And they're there, right there. Yeah, as you see, he just hits his brake. You can see the ABS light on, but no brake showing. Which this is the moment that he gets on his brakes. So, we're going to look exactly where is that. Well, you know, that's about exactly where I thought I needed to brake at. He's, you know, just past this dotted line. And right at the beginning, I mean, his car is like right on top of that, you know, maybe halfway on top of that curb as that curb opens up. Now, the reason I don't know that I trust myself is because, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I guess you don't get dirty tires going right there. But knowing me, I'll push that. Now that's me needing to get better. And maybe I'll practice that, but not when I'm trying to set a lap. So we'll go back, and we're going to continue. Now, he broke hard. He got down to 3rd and about 90. Okay, so he's going to go through, brake hard, or brake soft, and just get down to 4th, about 120. And then here he's going to brake hard and back on the throttle there. So, and then he's full throttle through the S's and then brakes there pretty good. So he's coming off the brake and already on the throttle right here. Yep, he's getting on the throttle. Brake is almost completely gone, and he's getting back on the throttle. By the time he reaches that, nope, he's letting off. He's still kind of coasting there. And that's good to know. I need to know where he's able to get on the throttle. And okay, he's coasting up onto the curb and getting on the throttle as he gets off the curb. And he is going full throttle. And one thing I have learned here is with Gran Turismo 7, it is all about getting on the throttle, and the earliest you can get on the throttle. Not partial throttle, but full throttle. We're going to go up, and so he's not going, didn't go all the way back to the left before going into the S's. He's just kind of going, you know, just past halfway, cutting back and coming up, and these brake lights are going to be on soon. So, oh, there they are. Now we're going to see exactly where is he. Well, he's hitting the throttle right at the beginning of that. Now this is just a little bit late. I went one screen too far, so I have to remember that. So I'm going to say right there at the beginning of the curb, he's on the brake. Now, what does that mean? What does he do with this braking? Full brake, down to third, I mean, what, 96? Brake hard, get down to third. 96 is his low speed. Now he went real wide, and I don't have a clue, but he did come out and stay in third. And I don't have a clue how he didn't get a penalty right there. But now let's see where he's getting on the brake. Now there is, as you know, right over here, there's a break in this wall. You've got 300 marker. So let's see, where is he braking? Is he braking right at the 300? I'm going to try to hit this a little slower. Like I said, I went one mark too far the last time. Yep, right at the 300. I mean, yeah, just what, a half a car length, because that's the 300 right there. So, you know, maybe, yeah, half car length before it gets to the 300. And that's where he's braking at. And what you can do also is you can, when you pause this and you look and you're seeing exactly where, you know, he's on the brakes, you can switch to whichever cam it is. If you do, you know, the onboard cam, the bumper cam, you can kind of look and see where, I mean, that 300 is pretty far off. I mean, you're that tree over there away, and try to get an idea of what you're seeing. I mean, I'm gonna say as soon as that 300-yard marker disappears, I'm hitting the brakes. Now it might be a little bit early, but I'm also 5 seconds slow, so 4 seconds slow. So doing that, I can probably, you know, gain some speed coming through here. So we'll continue, and he's full brake. He's down to, what, 92 on that? See, I'm still trying to find his brake point for that. Now we know he's down to about 92 for that. And where is his brake point here? Okay, I mean, I really don't see anything specific. Okay, coming up. What am I doing? I'm coming out this corner here, coming in. Okay. The biggest thing that I can see actually is this little crease right here is his brake point. This crease right here. You know, maybe just past it. But the first one that's longer, that goes, you know, most of the way across. This little sealed crack right there. And coming up, you see there is another sealed crack there that goes all the way across, but obviously that one's going to be way too late. And it really looks like, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, you've got one that's very noticeable coming up, but that's really going to be the first one that's that's fairly noticeable. You know, coming down. So, and to see, kind of get an idea of just how noticeable, you can see how noticeable those cracks are. And we'll even back up and let's play this. This is the view I use. So I want to see, you know, okay, well, let's see where this crack is that you know, how well am I going to be able to see it? Okay. See, I'm coming up, I'm thinking braking right there. Now this is where I'm braking at, because that's what I saw. I saw that crack. Now, is he on the brakes yet? No, this might be a touch before he broke. It is. See, my tires are on that crack. Now this is where I'm saying to brake it, thinking I need to brake at. And if I go to his brake lights, there they are. This is where he's braking at. You know, I would have to say that might be half a hundredth. And if I get that close to an A-Lin, I'll definitely be A+. So, I think that's a good brake marker. So that's what we're going to use for this corner. And then we're coming down first gear, 58, and I thought that I could get on the gas a little earlier, get on the throttle a little bit earlier than that. You know, he's just coming off the brakes there. See, I was thinking that, okay, he's now off the brakes. See, I'm thinking get on the throttle there, and he might just be. No, he's not. He is on the throttle just a little bit. And he's kind of half throttling it. He's just kind of, he doesn't want to lose speed. Now he coming off is where he's getting full throttle. Okay. See, I was kind of, this corner is kind of touchy. It's real easy to spin out coming out of this corner. And if you're curious as to why, it's because of this. You're coming down, and you've got just a touch of camber, but now you're kind of going opposite direction with it. You're going downhill a little bit right there, which means you're reducing grip, and the camber isn't quite right. So, and that kind of explains, you see, like as you get up here, it's kind of dropping right there. You're going to lose grip on that, and it's coming to do this. So, that's why I've had somewhere I've had a problem in the past with this corner. And it's good to see that sort of thing and look for it. Now, obviously, we've got a long trip going up over the hill. Kind of here, I'm looking to see. Okay, I missed his brake point. What I'm always looking to see at the end of these is, does he shift up from there? But I'm not going to get to see that. He doesn't. Now, where are his brakes coming on at? Looking for, there they are. That looked like just past the 200 for me. Yep. I mean, literally just past the 200. If you wanted to brake on the 200, I think you're probably okay. So just past the 200 yard, 200 meter probably board. That would be, there's your braking point there. So, and then we're going to look, what did he do? It's full brakes, down to second, 70, 69, turn, half throttle? Is that what that was? Kind of a half throttle? Getting down, getting past here, yep, a half throttle, full, kind of backing off through that. Okay. And then, there's your finish. So he's coming up, braking hard here, and I want to look. Now, I see the brake markers. I see all of that. I'm going to watch this full speed one time. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to pay closer attention to what gear he's in, as well as how hard is he braking and what his speed is going through the corners when he accelerates out. So I'm looking, half brake is the most he's used there. It's a full brake, but it's an immediate trail. And it's full throttle through there, full brake, third gear, and these seem to be very quick brakes, trail brake. Very quick with the trail brake. didn't have to. Apparently, I don't have to go quite as wide to that last section. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. And I mean, as you can see, my time is not good at all, but that's fine. And we've got a faster time. Oh, surprise, surprise, it's Damien. I mean, okay. He's found another 300s, almost. So, you know, my time is not good. I am 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds, or 3.5 seconds slow. In a minute and 16-second lap, it's not good. So I'm going to go back with their brake markers in mind, knowing their brake markers. Now I'm going to do something just a little bit different with this one. I am going to go in here and I'm going to chase him around. Now, I don't know, should I chase that one around? Should I go chase Damien? We'll do Damien. Now, I'm going to go back into this with a little more knowledge. And that one's not going to work. And so now I've got a better idea on brake markers. Yep, missed it. And that's fine. Because now I'm looking at brake markers and I'm missing turn-ins. Yep, that's not how to do it. Yep, missed the heck out of that. Yep. Dirty tires and all. I need to focus better. See, I'm having a hard time holding at the very speed that they're running. So, that's fine. I just need to work a little harder and stay on the right lines. That's where I'm missing. I'm not on the right line, and it's going to take me a little while to get used to being on the right line. See, I'm deep there, which means I'm not going to be able to come out as hard there. But I'm looking. I want to see these flaws, and I need to run a few laps and kind of really focus on what I can do to speed up. Going to go look. I'm going to look at the data logger and see how close I am to their markers. Now, this particular view doesn't really tell me a whole lot. It will give me an idea of, you know, exactly where. Now, it might help if I actually pull up. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pull up his, Damien's time. But, I'm going to get an idea of, line here. I can look and see, I'm kind of on line there. He turns in a little sooner than I do and gets off the brake just a touch earlier than I do. And coasts a little longer than I do. But what's the trick to this? Now, why is it we brake approximately the same time? He gets off the brake earlier than me, coasts longer than me, and like when he's off the brake, he's still going considerably faster. I'm going slower, and he coasts a little longer. So, already he's going quite a bit faster. So, why? Starting, he's 1 mile an hour faster. But at the point that he releases his brake, he is well, he's 6 mile an hour faster than me, almost 6.5 mile an hour faster than me. I've already lost a tenth the first time he lets off his brake going into turn one. Why? Well, I want to come over here and, this is going to show me throttle, steering angle, and RPM. RPM really doesn't matter that much. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the steering angle. I'm going to change that to brake, because that tells me a lot more. And I will use a steering angle, and I use this, and I'll kind of explain why I like using this. But what's happened? Well, he broke actually a little sharper, and he goes up, and instead of, see, his brake maybe just a touch. He went, I guess got in just a little sharper. I got all the way up to 93% brake. He maxed out at 61. So that's obviously that I slowed down a lot more than he did. And lost, as a result, 1/10 by the time I stopped braking. Now, I got on throttle just a little bit earlier than him, but he's still going faster than me. And then because of where I got on the throttle at, as you can see up here, I had to back off a little bit in order to make that corner. And to show you what corner that is, I had to back off here. Okay? And you can see before I get full throttle, I'm there. And he's got me by 3 mile an hour. 3.6 mile an hour. And that is going to continue all the way down this stretch. And he has got I slowly catch up to him because I'm not on the edge where he is. It's harder for him to accelerate. Now, what I didn't realize watching his replay, because I wasn't looking close enough, he actually coasts right here. Coming into this corner, as you can see, or I didn't actually watch his replay. This is something he does. He's coasting right here before hitting brakes. And just because I want to see, let's see what he's doing. Of course, before he coasts, I'm almost 2/10 behind him. He's letting off there, and then he's braking just a little bit later because of it. And then he's got just a touch of coast there, which I really didn't. I mean, I almost just got off the brake and then went to a half. But by the time I get to a full throttle, he's been at full throttle. And he's got me by 8 mile an hour by the time I get to full throttle. And what I wanted to show you with the steering angle is notice how his stays a bit more consistent. It's like he brings it up and then he stays there, while mine's kind of a bit of a back and forth. And then he comes down and stays there, and up and stays there. So he's a lot more consistent with his steering inputs than I am. Right? Now, I had to let off in the S's because I'm out of line. Well, his consistency in steering has kept him on line. So he didn't have to let off. And as such, coming out of the S's, I'm down a half second already. And that's, just coming through these S's right here. He did brake a little longer than I did coming into that corner. Coasted just a little bit, and then got on the throttle full. And I mean, he's got me in speed wise a lot. A little tighter. Yeah, I mean, it's he's getting his lines a little straighter, and it ends up leaving him. Notice he's a lot wider than me coming out of these S's. This last corner, coming out of these S's, he's coming in wider than me. Right? Not a lot, but a little bit wider than me. And faster. Right? Now, the next thing is the brake inputs. With that, we brake at, I mean, I couldn't, the same time. I mean, it's just like dead on. But I let off a little bit faster. Now, the reason I can let off faster is because I've already slowed down more. Here I'm kind of coasting, got my foot just a touch on the throttle, and I shouldn't, and that's going to hurt me. You see up here where I'm using 2% throttle, and I shouldn't be. That's actually hurting me. Part of it is probably a bit of subconscious. I knew that I was slower than I needed to be for that corner. So I'm wanting to get on the throttle. I'm wanting to save some speed, maintain some speed maybe a little bit. But this is changing the weight of my car. And as a result of this, I didn't get rotated as much as I needed to. He rotated more and gets on the throttle. He's 100% on the throttle. I'm at 3%. Now I'm on the throttle and he is 8 mile an hour faster than me. 7 mile an hour, 7.3 mile an hour faster than me. Coming out of that corner. My brakes here. Now this is the one I said, if I'll probably go ahead and brake at that 300 yard marker. Because it was safer than braking past it. Well, I brake just before he does. Now I am 9 tenths behind him, 9.6 or 0.96 seconds behind him. going into the brake zone. Now I brake a little bit before, and I do brake a little bit longer, or I hold it stronger longer, but he trails longer than I do. Coming out of that corner, I have lost approximately 2/10. On the throttle, and brake. He does a better job of trailing off, and that's something I need to work on, is my trail braking, but I'm happy with that. I'm braking about the right spot there. You know, my brake points are looking good. And this is coming down the back stretch. Again, I brake just a little early, which is fine. I have no problem with that. And I don't toy with my accelerator, with my throttle near as much as he does. You know, obviously he gets on the throttle here a lot more aggressively, where I coast a little more. And then I'm kind of working on mine. He's already shifted up, and I'm not. And as a result of that, he's coming out a little faster, and that's fine. I don't expect to, but the rest of it is just a full throttle straight to the finish. I'm a little more satisfied with this time. Obviously, it's you know, a second and a half faster than my time before. Looking at the replay and learning brake zones and but now I feel comfortable. I've got a decent time, not a great time, but not a horrible time, and I feel like I'm comfortable, like I'm ready to go race. So I'm gonna learn more racing and get more used to the track in a race